Alright guys, welcome to another video with me on how to utilize digital marketing to really just expand your business by utilizing the tools and resources that we have available thanks to the internet and to Wi-Fi and all the amazing tools that I'm gonna walk you through. So what I wanted to go over today is the different types of content that you should be putting out on social media to really build a big connection and start to build the relationships with your audience. So the first thing that you're going to need to do when you're creating your content is understand who you're talking to. Know exactly that one person that you are talking to. And this is a piece that I want to dive a little bit deep into because I find a lot of people when they are posting online or they're trying to run their business and utilize the tools online, what they do is they speak to everyone and they know who their target market is. Let's say my target market is teachers. I'm going to speak to every single teacher in the world because they can utilize my product. The issue with speaking to every single person and every single teacher out there in the world is that there's different types of teachers. There's different grades that they teach. There's different beliefs that they go through. Not everyone who is a teacher will agree with what I teach or will agree with my methods if I was a teacher. So instead of focusing on talking to every single person, what I want you to do is focus on talking to that dream customer or that dream client of yours, that one person that you would be over the moon if they called you, sent you an email, sent you a text, reached out to you on Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is. Talk to that one person. And what I mean by talking to that one person specifically is pretend that you're sending that person, let's pretend that they're your best friend. Let's say that you're talking to your best friend about your offer and you're just talking to them about why it's so great for everyone you're so passionate about. The conversation that I would have with my best friend versus a stranger would be a little bit different. And the conversation that I have with my best friend versus every single person across the world would be a little different. So the conversations that you are having online should be directed to that individual person that you want to reach and that you want to talk to. So what do you put in front of them? What type of content do you put in front of them that will create that relationship, build those engagements, build that authority, position you as an expert, and ultimately get them to want to work with you is going to be content that serves them value. Now, obviously, there's so many different ways that you can serve someone value, so I'm going to give you a few different examples of what I do personally. That way you can kind of start to implement this into your own marketing strategy, but know that any piece of content is going to be great content if you are talking to that one person and you understand who they are as a person, you understand what they're going through, what struggles they go through, what their pain points are, what their desires are in life. You understand them so well that when you are having that one-on-one conversation with them, regardless if it's to a camera, regardless if it's just typing to this on your computer, or if you're having the same conversation one-on-one, you are still talking to this one person always. Okay, so the types of content that you can put out there is going to be answering their questions. Now, this is a big one and actually the easiest piece of content that you could create because you already know all the answers. You are the expert in your industry. You know exactly what you offer. You know exactly why you offer it. You know how it can help people. You know how it can serve people. You know how it can impact their life. And you know all the answers. So the easiest thing that you can post on social media is answering someone's questions. If I'm asking you how to bake a cake, you're not going to sit there and say, I don't know how to bake a cake, but I've been a baker for 40 years. That's not going to happen. If I say how to bake a cake is doing this 1, 2, 3 step, that's going to be really easy, but that's my method. Now, the thing is, when you're posting content, and this is what makes you unique, and this is what makes you stand out from the crowd, is the fact that you are your own individual person and you have your own uniqueness to you. So being authentically yourself on your social media is only going to drive your results forward. So the types of posts that you can post, like I said, answer their questions. So figure out what people are asking you if you were to meet with this person one-on-one at a Starbucks, let's say, what questions are they going to ask you about your business, and how are you responding to them? How are you answering their questions? All you have to do is take that answer and put it on your social media accounts. Simple. Okay? The next thing that you can post about is tips. Is there anything that you can teach them? So let's go back to that question. So if someone's asking me how to bake a cake, or let's say they're asking what is a cake, first of all, I explain what a cake is. And then if I wanted to give them some tips, so I'm going to switch my arms. If I wanted to give them some tips on how to bake a cake, you can say, here's the number one tip that most of my students ask me on how to bake a cake. Don't forget to add in your baking powder. And I give them this one tip. Or let's say that I am a health expert and a nutrition expert and I'm a baker, but I want to bake things with healthy alternatives. So let's say that I'm baking a cake and I'm someone who can't have sugar. They're looking just to make it healthier. Did you know that you can add applesauce into your baking products? Did you know that? Okay, I'm the expert. I just taught you something so simple. But to most people, or to myself as being the expert, you think that this knowledge is already well known. You think and you're assuming that people already know what they don't know. So when you are posting your content, answer their questions, give them some tips, give them some strategies that are unique to you or stuff that you do personally. Remember, when you're building your brand around yourself and around you as the expert, you are the expert. You know what you're talking about. You can answer their questions all day long. You have your own strategies. You have your own methods. You have your own way to explain things. And that's what I find a lot of people struggle with, is they try to get it so complex and so professional that it kind of loses that authenticity. It loses that feeling of you being a real person and just explaining it the way that you explain it. So if I'm going to explain a Facebook pixel to you, and let's just use this as my example since I am the expert in digital marketing, if I am explaining what a Facebook pixel is, there are thousands of people who understand what a Facebook pixel is. And how I would explain a Facebook pixel would be, it's simply a code that you place on your website or on your sales funnel that is tracking what user hits that page, what actions they take, and Facebook lets to learn everything they know about them. That is how I would explain it. But if you asked Joe Blow, who also is an expert with digital marketing, to explain a pixel, he may explain it in a totally different manner. Maybe he's saying it is a set of codes that have custom events and custom status, I don't know, whatever. He explains it in a more advanced or high or in-depth, and gives a lot more high-level words that you may not understand. So every single person, regardless if there is one expert in the industry or if there's thousands of experts in the industry, when you are posting your content, you are posting it on how you would actually describe it and how you would answer someone's question, just like if they were to sit next to you. Be you. Be simple. Be authentic. And trust that you are the expert. So, types of content to post. You have answering their questions. You have giving them your unique tips and strategies. Third one is going to be lifestyle. People want to know the person behind the brand. People want to know who is actually talking. People want to know the person who is teaching them, who is giving them advice. If you know everything about me, like if you know that I'm married, if you know that I like to travel, if you know that I love social media marketing, if you know that I love the gym, if you know everything about me, you are more likely to relate to me and trust me because you know who I am as a person. Versus if you never heard my voice, if you never saw my face, if you only just saw PowerPoint slides, for example, in stats, you would have no idea who I was. But because I make these videos for you, because I'm putting out this content, because you are actually hearing my voice and I'm explaining things to you in a way that I would explain it to any of my students or any of my clients, that is how you're going to build that relationship with me. So by showing your personality, by showing what you do in everyday life, by showing what you're interested in, is only going to help your audience and your potential customers or your future clients. It's only going to allow them to get to know you that much more and that much more on a deeper level. That will realistically, people do business with people they have a relationship with. So by me teaching you what strategies you should be posting on your content or on your social media, basically you are starting to build that trust factor without ever having to talk to them one-on-one yet. And I'm saying yet because you still need that personal connection depending on your business. So 3 things so far. So we have answer their questions, share tips and strategies in your unique way. And then the last one is showing your lifestyle. So showing what you're doing on the weekends, showing what you're having for lunch, showing just whatever you're doing, showing what you're interested in, what books you're reading, what podcasts you're listening to. Being a real human. And that actually brings me to videos, and why videos are so important is because you can really see who that person is. You can hear their voice, but you can also know that they're human. Like if I ramble or if I stutter, I'm not editing this video and being like, oh shoot, I gotta restart. I'm human. Mistakes happen. So they're gonna happen, especially while I'm live shooting a video. So what's another thing that you can post? So we got our tips, we got our questions, we got our lifestyle. Is there anything else going on in your industry that you want people to know? Or is there anything that you can teach them that is going to make working with you in the future that much easier? And an example of this, and this is something that I really have been focusing on with giving you guys this value, because when you know and you have that basic foundation set up, when you come to work with me or you're my client, when I don't work with people who are just at the very beginning, I'm working with people who already have the foundation set up and they want to scale their business and really dominate the market. So at that point, they need to have their Facebook page done. They need to be consistently posting on social media. They need to do all these individual things that is going to make my job easier, but get even better results because you are doing everything that I need you to do. So is there something that you can get your audience to complete that is going to allow them to work with you and get better results when they do work with you? And that could be, and for me it's easy because it's more physical. I need you to set up your Facebook page. But if you're a financial advisor, let's say, are there any questions or any beliefs that you want them to already consider before they come and have that initial meeting with you? And I'm going to use a mortgage insurance or a mortgage broker for an example. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm going through this exactly with one of my with my mortgage broker. And so what I'm doing is I am asking a lot of questions because this is my first time getting a mortgage. So the questions that I'm asking is, how much down payment do I need? What is the insurance? What are my different options with getting a mortgage? Can I do bi-weekly or can I do monthly payments? What if I wanted to pay off a lump sum of my mortgage at once? Is there any pros, cons, etc.? These are all the questions that I don't know that my mortgage advisor has to answer for me. But imagine if she had videos on her social media that already answered all of my questions. One, I don't have to send her an email and bug her and waste her time, because if I'm on her social media, she's already answering everything I need to know. But then 2, by the time I actually reach out to her, and by the time I make that initial appointment to move forward with working with her, she doesn't have to answer all these basic information. I pretty much should be able to go in there with a plan and say, okay, I watched your video. I know that these are my options. This is the one that I'm leaning to, but of course I want your expertise. What one do you recommend for me specifically? But I already have this high level understanding of what my options are. That simplifies her job. As well, it makes sure that she's bringing in qualified leads into her business that are ready to take that next step. So that is the type of content that she can be posting on her page. But then other stuff that she can be posting, so she's educating me, she's answering my questions, is going to be, let's say, tips on how to save for your first down payment. So she can start talking about how I can put $20 a month away and talk about the compounding effect of how that $20 will turn into this much over this amount of time. She can start to teach me that and educate me on how to save, which if I'm saving my down payment, it's going to make her job easier because she can get me a better mortgage, cheaper rates, etc. And now other things that she can post about would be her lifestyle. So who is she? What does she do for a living? What is she all about? What does she believe in? What does her voice sound like? What does she look like? What is she, I don't know, does she like to read? Is she out hiking on the weekends? Whatever, anything about her. I want to know who she is because I'm trusting her with one of the biggest decisions and biggest financial decisions of my life. I'm purchasing a home. And if I don't trust her, the likelihood of me actually going through and purchasing my home or getting my mortgage through her is slim. Because I'm going to do business with someone that I trust. I'm going to do business with someone that I know. I'm going to do business and I'm going to constantly refer business to people who have built that trust with me and I know who they are on a personal level. So that's from the mortgage side of things. She's answered my questions with her videos. I'm getting to know who she is because she's posting her lifestyle. She's doing videos, so I'm hearing her voice, I'm seeing her face. She's giving me tips on how to save, so when I do go to her, I have the money available to buy my house. What else can she post? Is there anything going on in the real estate industry that I should know about when buying my first home? So in Canada, we have our first time home buyer where you can put 5% down. If there are any changes happening to that law, I should know about that. I need to know. I need to know, hey, just to let you know, by the end of this year, that's no longer going to be available. So if you're thinking of getting your first home, do it as soon as possible. She can give me those kind of insider scoops because she's the expert. Now, if I had any questions relating to my mortgage, if I had any questions relating to even real estate, I want to be able to go to her. But to simplify that, just not waste her time to really just get my answers right away, I want to be able to go to her social media account and find everything that I need to know. That is how I want you guys to look at your social media. Be serving your customers, so by the time they come to you, they are ready to take that next step. They're ready to buy, they're ready to sign up, they're ready to register, whatever it is that your offer is. What can you put on your social media that will just get them that one step further? That eliminates that initial, I need to answer all your questions and start to build that relationship. And then when you're speaking to that one person, so let's say that my mortgage broker is speaking to me directly because she knows that I'm her target audience. She knows that she's looking for couples who are recently married, has their own business, and is buying their first home. That is me, so she's talking directly to me in her videos or in her content. So every time I read her content, I feel like she's finishing my sentences. I feel like she's actually reading my mind. I feel like she's directly speaking to me as if I was sitting beside her. That is how you are going to truly utilize your social media to attract your clientele. So that brings me back to understanding who you are talking to. So if you are talking to if you know who your target audience is and you know exactly that dream customer that you want calling you or sending you that email, if you know who that is, talk to them, because then you'll start to attract other people like them into your business automatically, simply by talking and serving that one person that you were talking to. So that brings us to our tips. So we have our questions, we have our tips or any advice that they can give. We have their lifestyle post, and then we also have just like facts, what's going on in the industry. Is there anything else that you can post? Think about this. What do you follow? What intrigues you on social media? What grabs your attention? Pay attention to that, because that is the type of stuff that you can be duplicating on your own page. Now, a big one, and something that I don't do too often, is humor aspect of it. And this is something, I don't think I'm a funny person. Some people think I'm funny, but realistically, ask my sisters, they think I'm the least funny person in the world. So by me putting jokes on my page just doesn't really relate to who I am as a person, because typically, if you're sitting beside me, I'm not really telling jokes. I'm more so telling you exactly how it is. But humor, people like to laugh. People like to see different things. People like something unique. People like stuff that's going to question their beliefs. There is so much that you can post online, but I want you to really focus on those first 4 methods that I just showed you. So answering the questions, giving them tips, lifestyles, and anything going on in your industry. Be the expert, but be yourself. And that is my biggest tip for you. Be yourself. Just as if I'm going to call you, just as if I'm going to meet you, that is who I should see on your social media. Because if you're watching this video and you're thinking, oh wow, Lisa's great, Lisa's so knowledgeable, and she's whatever, you like my hair, whatever, you see me on video, then all of a sudden you see me in person and I'm just like, oh hi, I don't really know what I'm doing, yeah, maybe I can do that, okay, it's a totally different person. Be who you are exactly on social media, just as if I was going to see you in person. That's as simple as I can make it for you guys. But utilize those 4 types of posts on your social media to really start to build that connection. Because when you're building that connection, you're building your personal brand, you're building you as the expert, you're building yourself as the authority, and you are creating this ongoing relationship building where you're going to start to generate more leads and sales in your business who are actually ready to take that next step, which at the end of the day, we're all business owners. We're here to grow and scale our businesses, and this is how you dominate the market. But I hope that helps. If you have any questions, of course, post them down below. But I would love to see some of your guys' posts, so feel free to post them inside of this group. If you want either me to comment on it just to kind of boost that engagement, or if you are looking for some advice, or if you're just like me, when I first started out, I got all my friends to look at my posts before I actually posted them because I was so insecure of actually what I was posting. But I promise you it does get better, and if I can give you any advice, like I said, be yourself, be authentic, and have fun with it. Be the expert. You are running your business for a reason. You enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, I hope you do something else. Anyways, enjoy your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.